welcome you to the 2025 McDonald's All-American Girls Game. This year, the celebration of the very best in high school basketball returns to where the McDonald's Girls Game was launched, New York. Now, in 2002, it was held at Madison Square Garden. This year, we're just across the East River. Brooklyn's got next, and the next generation of women's basketball flows through the McDonald's All-American Game. Hannah Hidalgo and Candace Parker and many others were introduced to the world here on their path to superstardom. And with the sport taking off like never before, it's time to meet the household names of the very near future. On the court, where childhood dreams come true, and where hype becomes legacy. Barclays Center, the home of the WNBA champion New York Liberty tonight, the home of the players who hope to return to this court as pros one day. It's the 22nd McDonald's All-American Girls Game. Speaking of the Liberty, Brianna Stewart in the house, former McDonald's All-American, WNBA champion, and here courtside to see the next generation. Hi there and welcome courtside. So glad you're with us. Along with Brooke Weisbrod, I'm Ted Emmerich. So glad to have you back on this game, Brooke. We know that women's basketball is not having a moment. It is the moment right now. And the players who are going to help the sport continue its ascension are on the floor tonight. Right, and we've got more than just the top 10 here to showcase for you guys here at home. And Ayla Chavez, the #1 player in the country, isn't just a three-point champion here, isn't just the #1 player in the country. She is the next influence in women's basketball. She's got that same type of swag, that movement and following. And oh yeah, Ted almost put up 5,000 points in high school. She is a phenomenon, and her vision is one of the best aspects of her game. And also her teammate, Sienna Betts, the Wooten Award winner here at the McDonald's Games, the 3-time state champion, all-time leading rebounder in Colorado history. Yeah, you might remember that name and that number. Her sister Lauren was doing this same thing in 2022 as a McDonald's All-American. And of course, Betts and Chavez are in the starting lineup for the West, which also has the #3 player in the country, Jasmine Jazzy Davidson, the Oregon native who's going to USC, joined by Emily Skinner and Grace Knox. As for the East, a couple of top 10 ranked players in their starting lineup. Aaliyah Crump, who's on her way to Texas. Haley Swain is going to Stanford. And Laura Somfy will join Swain in Palo Alto. She's in the starting lineup as well with Zakiya Johnson and Kaylin KK Carroll. Brooke, just hope that we have a game that somewhat resembles the scrimmage that we saw a couple of days ago at Brooklyn College, game that went to double overtime, won by the West. And the East is going to have some kind of way about feeling how they start this game, too, because they had the opportunity to make a 4-point play to tie that game up and left with a bad taste in their mouth, Ted. It was not without controversy. We've had some great games and scrimmages over the last few years here at McDonald's, and Ayla Chavez, #1 in the country, starts us off with a 3. You've said it, I've said it, to watch the way she shoots. Sometimes the net doesn't even move. And Chavez won the girls' 3-point competition last night. Somfy had it blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the West. We've got 10-minute quarters, 30-second shot clock, and we're using the college 3-point line tonight. And they'll be able to hit him from much further than that. Yes. Don't worry. Both the girls and the boys later on. Crump blocked by Jazzy Davidson, one of the standout defenders in the class. And the pass. Somehow she saved it for Sienna Betts. Unbelievable play. We've had a great 3 and a behind-the-back pass to start off. Yeah, we're in for a good night tonight, Ted. I can feel this one. And Emily Skinner, from the jump, arriving on Saturday, has been all business. Here she is in transition. Future Duke Blue Devil. Another nice pass, this time to Grace Knox, counted and one. What a start for the West. Just terrific flow on offense. They are passing well and spreading the floor, which is exactly what their strength is. Yeah, get a good look at that. That is a highlight for Sports Center Top 10 if I've ever seen one. Unbelievable. Right through Somfy's hands. Great vision. Kara Lawson's like, yes, thank you so much. Can't wait to see more of that next year. So an 8-0 lead for the West right out of the gate. And another turnover by the East. Now the West has 3 top 10 players in the starting lineup. They have 7 of the top 10 overall in the ESPN 100. That's misfires, offensive board by Grace Knox.
And Grace Knox already has a block in this game. She is one of the more athletic players you're going to see. Bottom of your screen, number 23. Keep your eye out.
Betts with the touch, and it's 10-0.
Well, she made a great point about saying, you know, how her game is different than Lauren's. She likes to be more of a face-up type of player. We're already starting to see that range at work.
Man, the East just can't get anything going offensively. Knox. Loose ball corralled by Betts. And at the soft touch yet again, and a timeout for the East, with the West scoring the first dozen.
That is going to be a difficult shot to defend. The fadeaway off your right foot, almost unblockable.
So Betts has half of the West's 12 here in the first 2 minutes of the McDonald's All-American game. We check out the top 10 players in this class. Brooke, what do you make of the class overall?
I mean, it's so incredibly talented, right? And you see the major schools standing out. Of course, you know, SEC getting a lot of great players. We talked about Emily Skinner going to Duke. Dariana Alexander is the highest recruit ever to go to Cincinnati, first McDonald's All-American. So congratulations to her as well. And then, you know, Stanford getting 3 players in this game. Tennessee also. So just reloading of the talent, but it's just been so fun to see, you know, these players, to hear their stories. And a lot of them, like, you can't put somebody in a box of, say, guard or forward, any of that anymore. These players talk about being positionless and talking about being the next future of the game.
Versatility is the word that describes just about everybody in this game. It's Kaya Johnson, who was so good in the scrimmage the other night, couldn't get that one to drop. Now trying to keep up with Emily Skinner. Nice pass again from Skinner, this time to Jazzy Davidson.
You gotta love the spacing so far from the West. I mean, the way that they're able to read each other and the cuts right now, everything looks so secure. The East has got to do just that, though. I love the way that Haley Swain just said, hey, look, I'm going to drive it. I'm going to try to open things up from the inside out for us.
Here's Chavez. Just made her commitment to Oklahoma last week on SportsCenter. Missed that 3. Loose ball. Emily Skinner comes up with it. And a turnover. Traveled by Davidson.
More good look ahead and sharing the basketball from the West. Skinner giving us 2 highlights quickly early on. Great assists.
A big point guard who plays at her pace. Skinner says, I just do a little bit of everything. Chavez in the open floor. Too easy for Aaliyah Chavez.
Yeah, the East got to find an answer here, and we'll see a substitution here coming up. So maybe just some, you know, fresh, different bodies in the game right now. But I like their mentality in the scrimmage. It was inside out, just getting real physical, and I think they need to see that ball go in the bucket first before they start shooting more threes.
It's like there's a lid on it right now for the East. They've started 0 of 8 after Aaliyah Crump missed that 3. Knox blocked by Carroll. Got it back though. The kick deflected by Crump, and it'll stay with the West.
Yeah, the East has got to get it going defensively. Much like this offense or defensive possession from Chavez with the quick hands. You know, her legacy is going to continue to grow at Oklahoma. Jenny Bronchek demands defense and loves a drill just like that called the rip drill, where you try to rip it out of players' hands. Looks like she's already prepped and ready for that one.
Yeah, Aaliyah Chavez has heard it all season at Monterey High School in Lubbock, Texas. She is being mentioned in the same breath as Caitlin Clark.
And the reason for that, so people understand that at home, is, you know, when she walks into a gym and there might be, you know, younger players there, there's not a seat in the house. These young players, you know, 10 to 12 years old, are in awe of her, almost in tears when they get to see Aaliyah Chavez. You know, she picked Norman because she felt like it was the closest to Lubbock as the West continues to put Lubbock points on the board. Jazzy Davidson. but just how incredibly proud that she is from her family, being Mexican-American, representing here in tonight in this game. The legacy is only going to grow from here, Ted.
Johnson could not finish with a couple of cracks at it. The East still scoreless. That's blocked by Crump. Ben's following again. And cleared by Somfai.
All right, East, you got a good stop here. Let's see what you can do with it.
Well, it's halfway through the quarter. Carroll the wraparound. It's rejected by Grace Knox.
Tiger bait.
Chavez couldn't quite handle the pass. We've got a timeout with the West shutting out the East through 5+ minutes.
When's the last time any All-Americans had no points on the floor? Boy, the West dominated quickly. The East, we're in your house. Y'all got to figure this out.
ESPN is the home of the women's Final Four Friday night. Texas and the defending champ South Carolina at 7 Eastern, followed by UConn and UCLA. Bruins in their first ever Final Four. Final Four pregame special from Tampa beginning at 6. Sue Bird and Dinah Taurasi back with their own commentary on ESPN2 and ESPN+. Angel Reese knows something about the Final Four and a national championship.
Come
Angel
on.
in the house.
Showing up with, I mean, can you come more stylish than that? Angel Reese comes last night to judge. I'm giving a 10 out of 10 on this look here. Sideline from Angel Reese. It's well done, and I mean, what an influence she is here to these young ladies as well. Of course, was a McDonald's All-American in 2020, the COVID year, so couldn't participate in the game, but got all the attention. Players were listening to every word of advice.
Now, we talk about that 2020 McDonald's All-American roster. Her, Caitlin, and so on and so forth. Just imagine if we could have seen that game 5 years ago. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we couldn't.
They definitely going to put up a challenge to the highest scoring game ever that we saw. Juju Watkins had a Hidalgo, Mylasia Full Wiley. And we could go on. Lots of stars in that one, too. But tonight, he's still looking for their first bucket here. Come on, y'all.
Started 0 for 11. Got numbers here with the second unit. And Jalea Davis, the future Kansas Jayhawk, puts the East on the board.
Great job by the East. They just needed that speed. They're trying to find that same way that they were able to get involved in the game the other day. And these 2 point guards right here, Aliana Puck Morris and Mia Paldo. This is going to be a good matchup. These are 2 energetic 5'5" to 5'6" players getting it done for the shorties.
Agot McKeer headed to South Carolina, left it short. And here comes Puff Morris again, headed to Cal. Morris hits the pull-up from inside the arc this time.
And from Etiwanda out in California, a public school that has found their way to kind of self-fund and get to these major tournaments, the exposure tournaments that are so important. And so for the little resources that they've had, they have made the most of their opportunities. Of course, she's here with her teammate, Grace Knox.
Who helped the West build this big lead as part of the starters. McKee with the footwork to get around McGoy. Counted on the foul.
She has impressed me so much this week with her versatility. I mean, she's got obviously great length, but her ability to use it, that's where you come into play. I mean, players who know how to step through, use their length, stepping out and hitting threes in the three-point contest last night.
McKeer committed to South Carolina just a month ago, top 5 player in the class. When we talked with her on Saturday, she told us how much that decision had weighed on her throughout the season, but she said Dawn Staley told her in the end, I will not let you fail, and that put her at ease.
I mean, they talk about confidence for Coach Staley to know that she believes in you that much. You're not going to fail. You may take a while to get to where you need to go, but I'm not going to let you fail. And that's everything a player needs to hear, is that confidence from your coach.
McKeer came up with the block. Now, back in the paint, and she banks it home.
Good quick decisions, too, right? She doesn't hesitate. She knows what she wants to do with the ball. Puff Morris able to hang on to it.
3 ball off the mark from Jordan Spicer, the knockout champion from last night. And Judah Seville headed to Tennessee. Boy, she excels in transition. She's going to fit just fine in Knoxville. Timeout for the West after a 7-0 run by the East.
Zanaya Pearl just giving it right up to her future teammate. Tennessee Volunteer, that's going to be a stacked team. Can't wait to see what Kim Caldwell can do with the extra speed she already has on the roster. She's going to add to it. It's good defense. Agot, and then the fast break can start. So you getting stuck in scoring, where does it always begin, Ted? On the defensive end, and it'll lead to transition buckets, runouts, easy scores like this one.
Civil, Prawl, and Paldo coming off the bench for the East tonight, Brooke. All headed to Tennessee. Kim Caldwell just got that contract extension.
Yes. This
week, and she's got 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming her way.
It has been a good year to be a Caldwell, I'll tell you what. And now they're all 3 on the floor at the same time. So you really get a sense of a preview of what's coming to Knoxville.
By the way, Mia's twin sister, Maya, who is also in the ESPN 100, not a McDonald's All-American, she's a part of the class as well. Driving in, leaving it short is Addie Deal, Iowa's first McDonald's All-American since, yes, Caitlin Clark.
And big part of her decision going there, just being able to be in that culture. She certainly has the type of game that's going to fit really well there. I mean, just hustles, complete skill set, a tough, strong guard.
And by the way, Deal says that she was interested in Iowa before Caitlin. She loved the Megan Gustafson teams. She reached out to Iowa when she was a freshman in high school, modern day in California. She was just hoping that Iowa would recruit her. Well, the interest was mutual.
That always helps. And certainly has the talent that's just going to shine there. Deny a Prawl.
Left it short, long rebound. And McKeer chases it down. Shot clock resets. McKeer, not from the mid-range this time. Spicer trying to locate Eschmeyer, got its way to Bryn McGoy. And taken away by Jada Civil.
What hustle by Civil.
Civil to Prawl to Paldo. The lady falls over the way to Agot McKeer for the finish.
Good to see SEC and the assists to each other, you know?
That's
they play nice.
McKeer, the future Gamecock. Now Paldo the steal. 3-on-1. And Paldo sets up Civil for the deuce.
Paldo is everything that this game needed for the East. She's got the spice, the energy, the extra pass, and the vision. Okay, Puff. Okay, Puff.
Put a little English on it for Puff Morris.
Cannot believe she even found the awareness to get that ball out of her hands, let alone see it go in.
Boy, this is fun with Morris and Paldo going at it at their size. McKeer off the mark. Spicer, unlimited range here. Gotta watch out. Oh, way off.
You see the West taking less quality shots now, and the East starting to make their move, getting closer and closer to the bucket. That one a little tough for Prawl, who didn't have numbers.
Inside a minute to go here in the first quarter. Remember, the West led 18-0 at the first time out. Down low, Deal. And a foul called as she had the mismatch against the smaller Paldo.
We talked about Paldo's just hustle, and then you got her teammate right here, Jada Civil, keeping it in bounds, one ball to another. And then to a Gamecock at the end, as you mentioned. Agot McKeer, just doing a great job of hustling down the floor. Like, I love the way that she's involved defensively, offensively, got that great length and speed.
Loose ball underneath. And Civil, too strong. Missed the follow, but a foul called with 16 seconds to go in the quarter.
West foul on number 7, Addie Deal.
Goes against Addie Deal. So Civil at the line from Paul Bay Magnet High School. Florida's Space Coast. Gotta love the goggles for Jada Civil. Formerly in the 60s range of the ESPN 100, Brooke worked her way up all the way to number 32 in the country.
And you can see exactly why, right? The hustle plays, the rebounding. She's got a terrific high-rise mid-range game already. So now started to complement that with intense defense. And, of course, the Lady Vols play that full-court press, so she'll be right there with it. Good passing finally by the West. Look much more comfortable in that possession.
And Bryn McGoy with the finish, headed to Washington. Davis blocked by Alexandra Eschmeyer right before the buzzer. So the West scored the first 18 points of the game, and they've got a sizable lead after one.
Well, Puff Morris, get to know the name. Cal, getting a star with this one, but tonight she is shining in Brooklyn. We need to see this one again. And we have just been blessed with so much talent, especially in this building. I mean, tonight on the boys' end, you got the Boozer twins who are headed to Duke. Of course, son of Carlos Boozer, who was a 1999 McDonald's All-American. What a full circle moment. You'd love to see things like that happen, and the players just clapping because Breanna Stewart just got introduced in the building.
Stewie and Angel Reese here at Barclays. And Zakiya Johnson on the board for the East. Remember how good she was in the scrimmage a couple of days ago. It's first bucket by any starter for the East.
Nice pass.
That's missed it. And taken away by Aaliyah Crump. So starters for the most part back on the floor. Somfy, the big, bringing it up. Deflected by Morris. Swain recaptures it. And a foul called. Haley Swain from Holy Innocents Episcopal in Atlanta led her team to a state championship. Caleb Wilson, who we will see in the boys game, future North Carolina Tar Heel, also a student at Holy Innocents Episcopal. So what a night for that school.
And good representation headed out west, too. We mentioned Stanford getting 3 McDonald's All-Americans. So certainly will help them reload and get back and prepared to make the NCAA tournament next year. Love Swain's game, too. Just a smart heads-up player. Just felt like Stanford was a great fit for her. And you see Deadly with the left.
Betts with the powerful finish. Got through Swain there at the end. Johnson, the spin against D. Alexander. Oh, how about that?
Yeah, clearly the best athlete in this class and has just separated herself. Seeing that the other day in the scrimmage, she was able to make moves and get closer to the rim at a pace where nobody could keep up with, Ted. Her speed is incredible.
Alexander trying to save it for the West. And it belongs to the East.
Yeah, Zakiya Johnson at 6 feet. But this got to be a longer wingspan. I mean, you just watch the way she moves. So quick and can lead the defense to where she doesn't want them to go, right? So she can kind of set them up and spin around just as an example of a move she can make.
Swain churning, and she's fouled. As Zakiya Johnson says that she is so excited to play for Kim Mulkey at LSU. The way Johnson put it, she lets her players be who they are.
That makes sense. You know, I've seen it in action, and being a part of the sideline in the SEC tournament in the past. Players will run through a brick wall for Kim Mulkey. She's able to relate to them on a player's level. You know, the psychology of how she gets the best out of them also it's just so special. And unless you're going on those recruiting trips and you know when you talk to players, you get a sense of that, you'd never know.
Nyla Brooks, a blur down the floor. She scoops it in, headed to North Carolina.
Yeah, her speed gives me so many just vibes of like Kennedy Todd Williams. You know, early days at North Carolina, has that all-around game that's going to fit really well.
Three ball for Ayla McDowell. The Houston native going to South Carolina. Yeah, a McDowell in the McDonald's All-American game.
You heard that right.
She's never seen coming to America somehow. Swain with the 3 at the other end.
Yeah, Swain with a good response. Yeah, hard to believe, but, you know, that's kind of where it is. But people keep telling me I need to see the movie. It's like to help understand the context of this game and you being in it. Yes, absolutely a must-watch.
Betts is fouled inside. Back to McDowell from downtown.
You know, asset of inside-out scoring, quick set and release. She has come D1 ready. The fitness, the footwork, and the follow-through.
We think of the late, great John Amos. Yes, the golden arcs over the golden arches. The Big Mick instead of the Big Mac. Ayla McDowell, that will be on the watch list. should be. We're in New York after all.
Absolutely. Well, you know, we know what happened in the end. Lisa was able to marry the Queen Akeem, so only good things to come for McDowell's. That's what I understand.
They should have just put the golden arcs on her jersey. It's just that slight difference in the design.
They're playing nice. You know,
Yeah.
McDonald's and McDowell's in the same building.
That's right.
We're doing great.
12-point lead for the West. Johnson, oh, from long range, that's a three.
Gotta love doing it right in front of Angel Reese, who had her phone out to capture the moment.
Johnson headed to LSU herself. McDowell for two, off the mark, but an offensive board by Te-Hina Alexander. Brooks comes up with the steal for the East. And taken away by Alexander from Purcell Marion High School, your alma mater, Brooke.
Let's go, doing it for the city of Cincinnati, big time.
Knox couldn't hit.
And the biggest recruit for Cincinnati they'll get, so cannot wait to see her do special things. But meanwhile, we keep talking about the speed, and it carried over from the scrimmage to tonight.
So Johnson with another bucket, and the East has cut it to 7. Chavez too strong. East on the run again. Swain trying to pick up the loose ball, and back the other way.
Kim Mulkey and the LSU Tigers gonna love this hustle, gonna love this range. Angel Reese 11 and 2, able to capture the moment for the Graham. And the East stopping the defense, stopping it with defense and getting it done on the offensive end. You know, the West is not even crashing the offensive glass anymore because they know the East are trying to get out and run.
Yeah, Johnson with 9 points here in the second quarter. That East starting lineup was shut out in the first 5 minutes of the game. West was up 18-0. Chavez in trouble, got bumped, and had it knocked free, but it'll stay with the West. Now Don Carpel fired up, head coach of the East, St. John Vianney High School, right down the Garden State Parkway in Holmdel, New Jersey. Such an honor for the coaches in addition to the players selected to this prestigious game. Late in the shot clock, Skinner, oh, swallowed up by Brooks, but a foul is called. And Ayla Brooks will tell you that was all ball.
Ooh, little Carolina Duke rivalry in action right here. Ooh, Skinner with a terrific drive. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a little body on that one. It was all ball up top. We hit it with the body, good drive too, strong drive from Skinner. I think we'll see them meet up a little more times at the basket like that.
Can't wait for that in the next few years, right? Either in Chapel Hill or Durham. Coach of the West is Cheryl Krompetich, the Coach K of girls high school basketball, if you will. Head coach at Bishop Gorman High School in Nevada, 5-time Nevada state champion.
That's right, lots of syllables, 2 vowels, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of success too, right?
Yes. Skinner again in transition. Knox got Somfy off her feet, couldn't hit. Skinner gives the West another crack at it. And Skinner floats it home.
She is so crafty, isn't she? I mean, just incredibly controlled with the basketball. And stone cold too. Like, it is game face all the time from Emily Skinner. I love it.
3-ball for Haley Swain, another one here in the quarter.
West Coast, she says, I'm coming. Lots of family in the house too. She had her name announced and was one of the loudest in the building.
Everybody making the trip from Atlanta. Ayla McDowell on the drive.
Ayla McDowell is a generational type of player with the way she's able to post up from anywhere, right? We talked about positionless players.
Oh, how about Laura Somfy then? Speaking of.
Yes.
And a timeout for the East. They have cut it to 6.
All right, East, we see you showing up. We knew it was not going to be long before you got involved in this game. Just need a little bit of defense and a little bit of love. Right here from the outside, Laura Somfy headed to Stanford.
Can't wait for the women's Final Four Friday night in Tampa. Madison Booker, who was in this game just a couple of years ago, leading Texas against South Carolina. Round 4 for those two this season. That's our first semifinal. Then it's UConn and UCLA. Yes, Sarah Strong, huge game in the Elite Eight last night against USC. Lauren Betts leading UCLA, part of this game just 3 years ago.
I mean, you're getting the cream of the crop, an incredible Final Four, really on both sides, men and women's. But for the women, you know, all #1 seeds except for UConn getting there. Paige Becker's playing as well as anybody in this tournament right now. So it's going to be a challenge for UCLA, but I mean, I can't wait. You got the Texas and South Carolina rematch. I mean, those two go at it. I would be surprised if that game gets in the 60s. We'll see. They got so much pride defensively on both sides of the club, and just cannot wait to see what next weekend has. I mean, Sienna's going to get to watch her big sister and then join her next year.
That's it. Sienna Betts, sister Lauren in this game. Ayla McDowell knocks it down for 3.
Looks so confident, too, with the shot, right? Just a quick release, ready to catch and shoot and make a play defensively, ready to get back.
And Sybil sets up Jalea Davis for the bucket. Now the East was down 18-0 the first 5 minutes. Boy, what a second quarter they put together to cut this to single digits. Davidson over the top. McCoy the offensive rebound. Picked up. McDowell's got the hot hand. Why not?
Give to him, Ayla. Let him know you're heading to South Carolina with an exclamation point. I don't know about that number 22. We might have to bump that up before tonight.
Man, no kidding. McDowell, the first player in double figures tonight with 10. Prawl with the step back. 1-2. McKeer an offensive board. In and out. And Jazzy Davidson with the rebound for the West. From Clackamas, Oregon, headed to USC. The kick, Spicer. McCoy with the offensive rebound. Spicer is fouled.
Everybody take a deep breath now. You can see the legs starting to get a little heavy out here. It has been an incredible week, though. I mean, you're talking about 1 or 2 practices a day, events, meetings, all day long, not to mention the competition last night at the Sprite Jam Fest. So it's just been an incredible week. And so for these ladies to still have energy at all just is incredible to watch, but they love being here.
Spicer says that she made the decision in the 5th grade she wanted to be good, and so her dad Bill was with her in the gym every day from that point. She learned how to shoot like this.
So many other types of stories as well. You know, Spicer talked about how important her dad was to her and said, hey, if you're not going to put the work in, you know, somebody else is going to do it. And being able to live and understand that. You know, Leah Chavez, big reason of her success, her and her dad out there. And you got to have somebody out there rebounding for you. It makes a difference.
Spicer, short this time. Davidson couldn't reverse it in. But Davidson comes up with the steal. And Jazzy Davidson, so smooth, and 1.
Telling you why she is one of the most versatile, has a utility player written all over her. Look at this, incredible defense and length, awareness, strength, and then the finish, the concentration. That is so many different skill sets just in one play. Heads up move from Davidson headed to USC. Going to be an incredible asset to that team.
Considered the most complete perimeter player in the class. She told us the other day she grew up loving Candace Parker and has modeled her game after the legend.
Yeah, you can see it.
Got a piece of Paldo, but a little more than the ball. Foul called. Yeah, so Mia Paldo to the line. The only McDonald's All-American in the girls' game from the tri-state area this year. Told us how proud she is to represent Morris Catholic in New Jersey, about 24 miles to the north.
What I love, too, about the way that she's approached her whole career so far is that she knows the date she will be going to Tennessee. She said, on June 16th, we're moving in. I'm ready. Her dad has been training her. He's her manager. They do media training. Jazzy Davidson continues to impress, just left-handed. Nightmare out there on the floor, but Leopoldo, incredible leadership as well.
How about the hustle play of Puff Morris coming up with the steal? Alexander trying to find either Spicer or Davidson. Couldn't connect with either. Out to the east.
Davidson, read the screen, and there's so much of this at the next level of the read of the screen and roll. How will you attack it? And perfectly executed to see that the defense was not going to double team her. She had the middle of the lane open, so she took the easy shot.
Davis.
Charge.
Oh, offensive foul as Alexander took the charge.
Let's go, Cincinnati. Do it for the city out there. Love the setup. Great defense for Cincinnati. It's going to be a big contender in the Big West now, or excuse me, out west. And so she takes that charge, gets right in front. You got to take that contact. And the Big 12 getting a good one there.
Morris on the attack against Sybil. And Sybil takes it away. Ahead to her future college teammate, Mia Baldo. Future Lady Vols on the connection there. Morris well short. Ball might have gotten a piece of it. Sybil, the wraparound, once again. A couple of future Lady Vols hooking up there.
Okay, East cutting it down here right before halftime. See, they get another stop, but Davidson got something else to say about that. She is a one-woman wrecking crew.
.30 seconds to go in the half. Baldo over McGoy. She trains it.
Yes, she will. All 5'5" of her willing to take that shot, acting like the biggest player on the floor.
Over the 6'2" Bryn McGoy there. Shot clock dark now for the West. Chance to go back up double digits. Morris. No. Final seconds. Prawl. And the East doesn't even get a shot off. West had the big early lead. East slicing the deficit, which is 9 at the break.
Great comeback by the East. It took the hustle and the defense to get there. And a little speed from Zakiya Johnson. That's no problem. And meanwhile, the West doing it from outside early.
So glad that you're with us here tonight from Barclays Center. I'm Ted Emmerich along with Brooke Weisbrod. And yeah, we get the chance to see that next crop of stars and the skill level that has been on display here in the girls' game, off the charts.
Yeah, didn't disappoint whatsoever. The West jumping out to an 18-0 lead. Of course, Ayla Chavez, the #1 player in this class, hits a three. The net doesn't even move. That's how we start the game. And she's just such an incredible talent too, Ted, because she grew up and said she wasn't even athletic. So this is all hard work, and that's the three that I'm talking about. Getting used to seeing that. Doing it for the shorts too as well. I'm loving it. Bringing back the 90s look. Ayla Chavez out in transition, getting some help from her teammate Jazzy Davidson, who's been a problem. Her length, her speed, her vision, all of that has been a nightmare for the East tonight, as the West has not only gotten the lead, but kind of gotten back the momentum here late in that second quarter, Ted.
And how about Agot McKeer helping lead the East back in it after they were down 18-0. McKeer coming off the bench, top 5 player in the class, going to South Carolina. She was able to put some in to give the East some life, along with Zakiya Johnson.
It doesn't happen when they come off the bench very much, right? Probably not too often in their career, but just what the East needed. And the SEC here to save the day between South Carolina and LSU. That was a three that Johnson hit, just one of many scores both inside the paint and out. The East able to establish their aggressive mentality in the second quarter.
Yeah, Johnson leading the East with 9 points and a couple of double-figure scores for the West, including Jazzy Davidson, the future USC Trojan, and Ayla McDowell headed to South Carolina along with McKeer. They are on opposite teams tonight. They'll be teammates next year in Columbia. Man, what a fun night. We showed Brianna Stewart earlier. Again, this is the home of the New York Liberty. Won the WNBA title last year. Angel Reese is here as well. And Kathy Engelbert as well, the commissioner of the WNBA. There is more of a WNBA presence at the McDonald's All-American Girls Game than there really ever has before, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, great to see Stewie right there in the building with her McDonald's jersey on, by the way. So not only representing, but for the style. And yeah, you love to see it. I mean, that connection, it's close. The McDonald's All-American pipeline to WNBA tends to go a lot quicker than just the 4 years through college, but it's great to see because we talked to these players. We said, listen, on the other side of 4 years of college, you're going to be right here in the WNBA. What do you want to see as the next level for women's game? Aaliyah Chavez is the next level for the women's game. You're going to see and hear about her many, many more times.
What a pass by Sienna Betts to set up Chavez, such a strength in her game. Emily Skinner comes away with it. Had 6 assists in the first half. Headed to Duke, blocked by Kaylin Carroll there. Carroll going to Kentucky. Swain against Betts, and the rejection by Betts.
Yeah, Betts, terrific passer as well to go along with the defense, and loses the ball there, but she's got good vision. Understands the timing of blocks too. It's not just about getting the block shot, but keeping it in bounds and doing it without fouling.
Sienna Betts told us, you touched on it the first half, Brooke. We asked her to compare her game to her sister Lauren, of course, at UCLA. Sienna's going to join her next year. And Sienna says, I'm more of a modern big. How about another pass by Betts? This time to Skinner. My sister's, she's more of a throwback. I can do a little bit more. Of course she's going to say that.
Well, you know what? Sienna really likes the game of Nikola Jokic, so I feel like she's really trying to mimic the way that he's able to pass, step out, get that range. West again, the passing and the spacing. Here she is catching to the top of the key. Skinner doing the old give and go. The hustle play for the deuce.
Betts says she takes such pride in passing. She loves the assist more than the bucket. Off the steal, Haley Swain going to Stanford. Off the mark from Kaylin Carroll. Chavez, the #1 player in the class. Ooh, the aura of Aaliyah Chavez.
How about that for body control, stop and pop, and the handles.
Crump misses the 3 at this end. Leah Crump still scoreless, top 5 player in the class, signed with Texas. Skinner got the screen from Alexandra Eschmeyer. Oh, another block by Carroll. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the West.
Watch the control here, Aaliyah Chavez. This comes from repetition, understanding the timing of the release of the ball too. I mean, that was a quick move of Annie, just one dribble pull up.
Late in the shot clock, Eschmeyer with the fancy footwork.
Great step through, another player headed to Stanford. The length at 6'5", just what they need.
So the West opened the game on an 18-0
run.
Haley Swain with the bucket to end a 9-0 run that the West opened the second half with. Off the hands of Knox. Johnson, the hit ahead to Swain for 2 more.
Swain's got a motor that just never gets tired. She's beating everybody up the floor here these last few minutes. And we're deep in the third quarter and a long week of basketball. So anybody that's got energy left right now, it's impressive.
Grace Knox, an offensive rebound. And Knox, the future LSU Tiger, gets it to drop.
Here's what I liked about Grace Knox. Last night she was in the knockout contest, 3-point contest, and the dunk contest. And was unable to get a dunk down until they let her have an additional try, and you know what, got out there and did it. And sometimes it's not always about the result, it's about getting out there and making sure you try. She came up to us afterwards and was like, hey, you know, my bad. It's like, Grace, you're out there, try it, and that's the win of it all, is to put yourself under that spotlight.
Crump knocks down a three. She's on the scoreboard. To your point, Brooks, so many players during the Sprite Jam Fest, they wonder, oh, should I participate in this? Should I do that? Grace Knox is fearless.
Right. That's what you appreciate. I mean, Corey Alexander had to convince some of the guys to get in it, right?
Yep, in the dunk contest as well. Look, yes.
You earn the spotlight. If you got the skill to do it, go out there and test it.
So many are worried about, oh, can I really nail this dunk and what's going to be like? I'm on TV. No, go out there and show your stuff. Like that from Alexandra Eschmeyer. Blocking the shot.
I like the way she tracks the ball without fouling. Again, it's blocking without fouling and doing it against a 6'2" player in Carroll who's got long reach.
Oh, you know what? Alexandra Eschmeyer has strong bloodlines as well. Mom, Christina, former leading scorer in the Big Ten at Northwestern in 1998. Dad, Evan, played at Northwestern and 4 years in the NBA. West couldn't control it. East ball. Leopoldo back on the floor for the East. He led the charge with that second unit in the first half. And KK Carroll gets one to go down. That's a three.
Good drawn-up play, too. And the dish, quick from Leopoldo off the screen and roll. And badly needed three for the East.
Betts following her own miss. And with a third opportunity, Betts converts. Paldo blazing all the way to the cup.
If you're not going to pay attention to Paldo, she's going to make you pay. She goes full court, 1-on-5 finishes.
Well, Chavez putting the moves on Paldo now. Short. And grabbed by the East. Carroll ahead to Nyla Brooks for two.
Don't look now. We got a 10-point game. East remembering that scrimmage, that double overtime loss, trying to avenge it here tonight.
Second unit's been their best unit. Oh. Betts blocked inside.
And Carroll got a good piece of that, but did commit the foul. Betts so strong, able to get position. And Sienna Betts does follow in the footsteps of her sister in terms of the strength, the resilience, getting after the board. Stay on her. She's going to get that bucket, no doubt.
48th McDonald's All-American games here. Third quarter of the girls game, and one player unable to participate tonight. Leah Macy for the East from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, the Notre Dame signee, top 20 player in the nation, suffered a knee injury in January, but she's still a part of the whole celebration over the last few days. Yeah,
still wants to be a part, you know, be on the bench there and be involved. And you hate to see any player go down, and especially in a game like this, you want to be able to showcase that skill set. And you always know, especially players who are headed to the next level, playing in games like this, she's going to take this opportunity and learn about the game, ask as many questions as she can, soak it up from her teammates, but will be ready to contribute on the campus at South Bend this season.
Oh, you see the headlines with the transfer portal opening. She might be wondering exactly who her teammates will be in South Bend.
Kate Caval announced today she's headed out, and of course, the biggest news from Notre Dame, Olivia Miles.
Paldo with the pass ahead to Jalea Davis. Yeah, well, that was laser-like.
Jalea Davis, big-time player with the offensive board to set.
Oh, Jazzy Davis to the rim. She puts it in with a foul.
I don't know how these players are getting more energy as the game is going on, but that's exactly what's happening. Jazzy Davidson going up against two incredibly good defenders in Prawl and Agot McKeer, excuse me, and is going to be able to get herself two at the line. Or one at the line, I should say, the M1.
Alexander with the offensive board, though. Good luck for Addie Deal. And Tanaya Prawl rips it away for the East. 10-point game. Spicer with the deflection, out of bounds. Still East ball. Most of that second unit out there for the East. Oh, Paldo stepped out. She knows it.
Yeah.
Boy.
Those little moments are going to be costly as we get down further and further in this game, but there's been so many great possessions. I mean, I think we're definitely going to hit the 100 on the West side. Not sure if the East is going to get there, but I think the West, if they continue to score the way they have, especially lately, these last few minutes, they could get there.
Oh, what a pass by Davidson. Deal could not finish in traffic. Paldo. Mia Paldo is a dynamo. She set up Nyla Brooks.
So smooth with it, too. The delivery in the place at the right hands at the right time for Nyla Brooks.
Alexander tied up.
Gotta love when a point guard can set you up. Barreling down the middle of the lane. Terrific bounce pass. I mean, this is fundamental, but also pretty darn fun to watch.
I mean, Brooks, smallish guard from New Jersey. You can't help but think of Hannah Hidalgo.
Yeah, and look at all the terrific point guards that are headed into college basketball next season. And we're getting a little taste tonight, just the skill set there. And of course, you know, Mia Paldo being from New Jersey, there's just a special type of player and the attitude that comes from New Jersey. I'm talking about the toughness of Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, all the Mabrys. And yes, I know I'm going Notre Dame strong, but they're the first players I think of when I think of New Jersey.
Oh, Deal with the left-handed pass to Alexander. Now Paldo against Deal. Step back three. An air ball. Deal on the break. And Paldo reached in there. Knocked it out.
Good inside passing from the West. Just high-low, simple plays down low to Alexander for the finish. And if West can just play patiently, not that they want to run the clock and play patient in this game.
Oh, back to the basket. And Deal is able to flip it in.
She's crafty, isn't she? Just knows, again, right place, right time. And is a player who moves well without the basketball, which I feel like is a requirement at Iowa.
Oh, Davidson denies Civil. Spicer the other way. Missed the layup. Davidson trying to follow. Alexander plucks it, but she stepped out.
Watch the way that Jazzy Davidson able to time that block. That one with her offhand to the right, keeping it in bounds and letting the fast break flow for the West. I mean, she's just going to be a one-woman transition bucket, right? She's going to get the block, go full court, and finish strong.
She says what separates me is what I do without the ball in my hands.
Yeah.
Big reason she's a top 3 player in the class. Johnson missed the scoop. Davidson again. Lost her balance.
Pass it to Angel Reese.
Angel would love to play, yet she wasn't able to play in her McDonald's game because of the pandemic.
Right.
But that's not going to help the West tonight.
Well, we're comfortable with Angel putting the jersey on. I'm not sure about Speedy, who's kind of sitting over to her right. He airballed pretty badly last night, was trying to make up for it after the event, but yeah, I'm going to trust Angel with the ball.
Speedy and Angel were judges for the dunk contest last night. Foul called as Civil stripped Davidson there. Yeah, good to see them courtside here for the game after last night at the Sprite Jam Fest.
And AJ DePonce, of course, jumping over Angel Reese to score a perfect 50.
Razor's like, you sure about this?
Yeah.
I got you, AJ. I can clear you, no problem. And he did. Foul on the open floor. It's on Alexander. So Kai Johnson, part of that #1 recruiting class going to LSU, along with her opponent tonight from the West, Grace Knox. Paldo harassed. The no look to Davis. Poldo again with X-ray vision.
You know, she's got that energy and that spark, exactly what the East needs right now. She was the one that really led that comeback the other day in their scrimmage. They need her energy. Her decision-making right now has been excellent.
Civil all the way. Too strong. Taken by D. Alexander. Highest ranked recruit in Cincinnati women's basketball history, and Alexander does it herself.
It's a strong move from Alexander. You get a sense of what you're going to get. In Cincinnati, she's able to put the ball on the floor, finish with the best of them. Oh, the no look. Oh, she's going to get fans off their feet in Knoxville. It'll be so exciting.
Mia Poldo told us, just being from New Jersey, I feel like we're known for our shiftiness and craftiness, and that describes her game perfectly. Davidson with the air ball. Mia Poldo with 6 assists tonight. She's got 6 for the East. Emily Skinner's got 6 dimes for the West. Final minute of the third here in Brooklyn. Johnson rising over McDowell, future SEC opponents. He's got it back. Civil also going to the SEC in Tennessee. And a foul. Boy, SoFi put it in eventually, but I think the whistle blew before she put it up.
Said somebody just make a basket.
Yeah. Laura SoFi will be at the line for 2. Product of Adelaide, Australia. One of 3 future Stanford Cardinal in this game here tonight, and maybe Australia's next great post player. Yes, she has heard the comparisons. Lauren Jackson, Liz Cambridge, or SoFi, her own player.
Dejanay Carrington, Courtney Williams taking a seat.
Ari Chambers
Jackson
here as well. Yes.
All kind of WNBA stars in the building.
Stars are out in Brooklyn. Shot clock turned off for the West. A deal behind the back against Civil, and deal, the real deal for the West. Final seconds. Oh, Swain had it stripped. Alexander to Davidson. SoFi got a piece of that, and time runs out in the third. So the West up 13 on our way to the 4th of the 22nd McDonald's All-American Girls game.
Addie Deal headed to Iowa. Little behind the back shiftiness. I knew somebody that could do that at Iowa once.
As we start the 4th quarter. And Puff Morris starts it off with a triple for the West. They're up 16.
Puff said, I'm trying to get y'all to go night-night. Doing it early. Puff Morris, we've seen her crafty and creative around the basket, now stepping out.
She's worked so hard on the 3 over the last year. Brooks misses for the East. And that's what helped Morris become the player that she is now.
Able to make her announcement in time to really understand what's needed at that next level. And Charmin Smith able to have that conversation with her, and she knows she took that away and said, hey, I got to get better at my 3-point, got to read situations better.
Leah Crump headed to Texas. No, offensive board. Swain missed on the reload, but Crump is down there to clean it up.
Great extra effort. Vic Schaefer's going to love that at Texas. He knows rebounds are the key to get to a Final Four.
And Bryn McGoy's fouled for the West.
There's Leah Crump headed to Texas, of course, and we'll have to do a lot of that in the SEC. Just fight for those second chances. Such a tough player, though. She really enjoys being down there and just getting into, you know, the best of it. With the post players, you just got to be strong down there and establish yourself.
And this is an extra special honor for Leah Crump Her great-grandparents, Jay and Gloria, were McDonald's franchise owners in the 1960s. In fact, Gloria, now 94 years old, is still active with the Ronald McDonald House Charities.
That's incredible. Have that type of connection. Of course, the Ronald McDonald House charity, that day where they go to the Ronald McDonald House, typically the most favorite day of the players. They connect with the kids. They're able to spend time. They made some cookies with them, able to play some video games. Great experience overall for these young players.
Yeah, a lot of the players told us on Saturday, Brooke, that the kids were thanking the players. And the players are like, why are you thanking us? We should be thanking you. You have inspired us. Such a critical part of the whole McDonald's All-American game experience. Swain got it to twirl down.
Strength from Swain, you see it. Able to push back a couple of defenders on her way to the basket.
Morris on the other side of that Stanford-Cal rivalry, setting up Eschmeyer, who's going to Stanford, so Cal and Stanford can actually get along.
They can. Here tonight, but that's about it.
Crump on the drive, cut off by Knox, lost it out of bounds. Well, that is the fun thing about this game. Yes, future college teammates, future rivals, maybe teammates in this game or on opposite sides. The chemistry can start to develop here. Oh, Bryn McGoy with a nice finish.
Footwork for Bryn McGoy to catch it and then still stay balanced. Nice dish from Chavez.
Led Central Valley High School to a state championship in Spokane, Washington this year. Oh, Knox rips down the rebound. That is one of her strengths. One of many. McGoy had it knocked away. Eschmeyer throwing it up. And cleared by Denia Prawl. Signed with Tennessee. And Prawl, oh, Knox got a piece of that. Maybe McGoy as well. Brooks with the steal. And Knox swats it away. Do not challenge Grace Knox.
Grace Knox might have broken somebody's camera with this block. Look how hard she throws it out of bounds. Love the timing and the intensity of Knox, who has this really sort of soft-spoken way about her, how she walks into the building and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, here comes the firepower.
There is an edge that LSU's gonna love, and there's her future teammate in Baton Rouge, Zakiya Johnson.
Oh, they are going to be problems. Think about the post players that came through LSU just recently with Angel Reese and, of course, Anissa Morrow. And how many more rebounds are going to be up for grabs here with those two in the game?
Well, yeah, you said it to Grace Knox the other day. It feels like you're going to be able to fit right in with Morrow moving on. She agreed. It's a great fit for her.
Yeah, I think it really is because of the style of her game, how she really likes to play.
There's McKeer with a block on Puff Morris. He'll stay at this end, though.
And McKeer has an incredible quiet intensity about her. You know, she approaches the game with a serious matter, and here comes Puff trying to put up another highlight. McKeer says, no way, not having any of that.
What the wingspan of Agot McKeer. Something to behold. Spicer in and out. Spicer, one of the best shooters in the class, had a tough night. 0 for 5 from 3. And a foul with Paldo defending Morris. So 15-point lead with just over 6 minutes to play. Sienna Betts and Emily Skinner back on the floor for the West. Both have made a huge difference for the West here tonight. McKeer trying to get past Jazzy Davidson.
Great defense by Jazzy Davidson, staying in front.
Oh, Sybil off balance.
That's when we talk about that high riser, that mid-range game, and her strength to be able to jump, take contact, and finish. Speaking of that,
Emily Skinner! Count it, +1. What a game she's had.
Can we change the name to Stone Cold Skinner already? Because she's giving it to you. I mean, coming right at the defense. She's not been afraid the whole game. Just going right in there and scoring and taking the contact, too. That's what I love it.
Skinner told us the other day, Brooke, that she grew up playing with boys. She has 2 brothers. That hardened her as a player, as you would expect.
The middle child, an older brother and a younger brother. So constantly trying to be peacemaker and also referee. Come on, she's going to have that.
Skinner went 102-4 with 3 state championships in her 4 years at Ridgeline High School in Utah.
Flight work.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Dynasty. Of course, Sienna Betts, 3 state championships of her own. I mean, lots of these players say probably only lost single-digit games or less, maybe even 5 less games in high school.
Zakai Johnson won 4 of them in Louisville. Trying to throw it up at the end of the shot clock. Oh, taken away, Davis. And Davis sticking with it. Jalea Davis, Kansas, 2nd ever McDonald's All-American to sign with the Jayhawks out of high school. Spicer offline, going to Kansas State. Davis the first since Lauren Irvin in 2003 for KU. Paldo, no. Davis on the offensive glass. And a foul.
I like the pump fake from Davis to get Skinner up off the ground. The strength of this game at the West, getting toward that Hundy.
This game, a milestone for so many of the greats through the years. And we get the chance to see the class of 2025 on the floor here tonight. Aaliyah Chavez, #1 player in the class, helping lead the West. They've got a 14-point lead with under 5 to play.
The East is going to make their move. They're going to have to maybe put up a press, start trapping something defensively. I don't know, though, Ted. The West has been doing too good of a job passing and spacing the floor tonight.
Jalea Davis from Leawood, Kansas. Stay home, play at KU, at the line. Looking to split the pair here.
She had talked to us about how much she really loves to lead and how much she learned playing with her sister about leadership and, you know, being vocal, being that player that has to hold teammates accountable, has to say something when the times are not feeling great. That's one of the hardest positions to be in.
Oh, Brooks blocked by Skinner from behind, but it'll stay here. And Emily Skinner has been everywhere.
Yeah. Has she gone out of the game yet? I'm not really sure. Doesn't seem like it.
Right. Even though they have to, it feels like she's been ever present, right? Just filling up the box score like she has throughout her high school career.
How about the defense from Ayla McDowell? 2 different players, she covered it.
Eventually, Mia Paldo. Skinner looking inside. Sienna Betts. Oh, it's a good decision.
Sienna Betts did all that work before she even got the basketball. Sprinted down the floor, got big, called for it. And just that one dribble power, that power dribble to put it up.
And Brooks stepped out. Turnover by the East. Paldo did it earlier, now Nyla Brooks.
Yeah, that sideline not very friendly to him over there.
One of the adjustments, you get to the college game, yeah, you're playing with the college three-point line tonight. Less space there in the corner. Davidson, the lefty, going to USC. Let's see if these can make a little run here to make it interesting in the final 4 minutes. McKeer working on Davidson. Oh, threw it away. Betts with the steal.
Thought Betts was going to give us a little three-point action there.
Instead on the drive, Sienna Betts for 2 more.
Did I just see a little hezzy come from Sienna Betts?
I just said she was a modern big after all. Ayla Brooks with the layup for the East. Feed Betts again. The kick. Davidson. Alexander flying in. And Brooks comes up with it. Brooks able to chase it down. And an offensive foul. Alexander taking her second charge of the night.
Love
What's
to
up,
see
Purcell,
it.
Marion?
Yeah, that's the exact kind of work you'd expect to see from a Cincinnati player right there. Get in when it matters the most, taking a defensive action, but Betts, the step through. Like to see that over McKeer. A little hezzy, and you know, we've seen her outside shot. Time to look inside, and then Alexander taking the charge full on. They love that.
So when Sienna Betts signed with UCLA, Corey Close said, she reminds me of A'ja Wilson at that age. Do you see shades of that?
Well, I mean, A'ja Wilson put in an incredible amount of work and watched so much film and had so much footwork to her. So, I mean, to have that kind of comparison is great and tells you got to put a lot of work in. So that, you know, the potential is there for everybody in this game. It's what do you do with it afterwards?
Splash for Ayla Brooks. She's got big guard in her Instagram bio, 6'1". Yeah, it fits.
Big guard energy.
Chavez is fouled.
This is a game where, you know, Chavez doesn't have to score 30 or 40 points a game. So she can put on a display of her skill set. Of course, passing, one of her best assets. Well, no-look bounce pass through traffic. That looked easy. I promise you, it was not.
Great story on ESPN.com from Maya Jones. Aaliyah Chavez's dad, Sonny, says, my daughter has not one athletic bone in her body. At 8 years old, she asks mom and dad, can I go to a basketball camp? Her parents were stunned. Dad says, let me train you. And 1 month later, she scored 26 points in her first competitive game.
Let's go, Dad. Great training. But Aaliyah to just love the game the way that she did. You know, fall in love with it and then build her name.
Final 2 minutes. Johnson lost it. Alexander ahead to Bryn McGoy. Oh, and the Euro from McGoy. Future Husky heading to UW. Timeout for the East. What a finish by Bryn McGoy.
Bryn McGoy out of Washington, staying in state. Woohoo! Hezzy crossover, love that. Or excuse me, the Euro step. I'm getting my moves mixed up here. There's been so many. You got to remember what you're watching here.
So 98-81, the West in front with under 2 minutes to play. Brooke, what do you make of this class overall, now that we've seen some of the very best shine here in Brooklyn?
Well, you know, the West getting the top 3 players on their team certainly helped, but yeah, I think what you're seeing is the skill set every year gets that much better, and these players have spent so much time that you're seeing the best of what they can do at work. I mean, the athleticism, it just tells me the game is in great hands. And it's not just the skill set, it's the leadership, it's the recognizing of, you know, what is bigger than basketball, being here this weekend, doing the work off the floor, you know, working with the Ronald McDonald House kids at the charity. The game is in great hands, but from just a fan perspective, y'all are going to be so excited to see them in the SEC, the ACC, the Big East, all of it next year.
Addie Deal going to Iowa, coming up with the rebound for the West. Deal able to save it. And McGoy with 2 more.
Yeah, McGoy.
West cracking 100. You were calling for the century mark. Well, we sure got it.
We got to get it. It's a McDonald's game. Nice tip.
And the tip in by McCoy. Well, she's closing strong.
Okay, late game MVP style here.
Paldo against Chavez, give it up though. Johnson over her future college teammate. Grace Knox missed the three. Both going to LSU. Knox. There's McCoy again underneath, putting it back in.
Is anybody going to box her out late? She said, look, I'm just going to get it. The last 10 points have all come from her.
Now Paldo against Chavez.
This is fun.
Put on the show. Oh, Chavez got a piece of it, but a foul. Fun to the very end.
Just see Paldo putting in work. The last minute spin move, trying to catch her off guard, and picks up the foul.
Paldo with 7 assists, just 1 turnover tonight. 8 points. She'll have 1 more free throw. One of the very best point guards in the class, going to Tennessee, part of that #2 recruiting class that Kim Caldwell has signed. One of 3 players in this game tonight. Final seconds. Bryn McCoy, why don't you shoot it?
Right. Oh, go ahead, Chavez.
Take it from the logo, why don't you? The leader off the mark. Well, the West steamrolls. They scored the first 18 points tonight, and they win it 104-82 in the McDonald's All-American Girls game.
A great performance, really, by both teams all week. All the players just showing up and showing America exactly why they deserve the term All-American. We have seen some incredible plays, moves, finishes at the rim, and some just incredible talent headed to the next level next year.
Every year, there's 1, 2 handful of players. You see them shine the very next year at the college level. And as we know, at the legacy of this prestigious game, years down the road, a few of these players will certainly be at the highest level in the WNBA. Sienna Betts, the MVP this year with 16 points and 7 rebounds.
The complete game, a couple of assists. I mean, I know she was hoping probably to have more assists than that, than points, but congratulations.
Those 2 assists came on back-to-back possessions, too, in the first half. Whipped it inside to her teammates. So Sienna Betts, the MVP. She'll join her sister Lauren at UCLA next year. And what a cool scene to get that hug from Breanna Stewart here at Barclays. Moment that she will never forget as she heads on to college. #104-82 the final.